Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new play-by-play video. Today we're going to be playing some King Arthur. New patch, of course. This character is absolutely back. Potentially the best solo lane character right now in the game. We'll have to see. Might be a little bit ahead of ourselves in saying that, but definitely in that top 5 conversation once more for the first time in about 2.5 years. So really excited to showcase it, give it a go, show how to play King Arthur. We're laning against what's presumably a Hercules. This is actually historically one of Arthur's more difficult matchups because he just applies Hercules' passive so frequently and easily that Hercules can do pretty well into him, paired with the great secure that that character has. But nonetheless, should still be able to do some great things in this lane. We're going to be rushing Phoenix Shield, aka Old Glad Shield, and then going into some more physical prots afterwards in the form of potentially a Shifters. We'll kind of see. Not too sure how I want to build just yet. We're figuring it out, but a lot of protection, probably a redstone this game, and it should be a good one. Really excited. Herc's not level 2, so we know for sure we're against him now. And yeah, let's have a whirl with it. Early game's going to be a little bit scary just because we don't actually have like the strongest early on this character, but it's not terrible by any means. We just want to make sure we don't get hit by his combo, and as long as we do that, we'll be pretty okay. Spacing away, just focusing on clearing just as he is. He might be rushing the same item that we are, and that's definitely not as good on Herc as it is on King Arthur. He could also just be rushing shifters though, I suppose, so we'll have to see. But yeah, in this lane, really are just going to want to, we really will just kind of want to play safe. I can kind of do this totem as he is clearing, walk away, and then kind of continue to do the same idea. And as long as we kind of play for poke, in the midst of it all, we can actually get a very big health advantage, as you see. And a lot of it is just that Herc is really going to step out and step over to get his combo off. And as long as we can avoid that for the most part, it should be fine. Like right there, we did tank it, which was not good, obviously. I thought maybe I could get out of the range of the two, but didn't really work out, which is okay. A little bit of a mishap by us. Wow, too bad. Yeah, definitely had a huge health advantage, and I did kind of squander it. It's not a huge deal, but try to avoid doing that again. He might get one of these neutrals to start the game on. If he gets this Naga camp, he does hit 4 off like the next few minions. I'm not sure if he did it in time. Looks like he did not. Oh, the lance is here. We saw his horse, so he did do it. Did it with the lance. Just like looks like he's backing now. We'll play back a little bit here. Pretty simple stuff. Like you definitely should expect their jungler to kind of rotate over if yours hasn't. So nothing too shocking with that. We are a little bit behind right now. Definitely can just get it back on this silver camp if we do manage to secure it. Won't be able to though. And yeah, this is pretty customary for kind of how this lane goes. We really have the ability to kind of bully and poke him out once we have an item or two, but to start off the lane, we don't have enough damage necessarily. We do have our Mulan ganking, so I'm going to actually play for where he dashes, pop our shards, and he's just dead here. She missed. Still dead. It's fine. Nice job. Yeah, really important there. We actually want him to dash us, because he dashes us, then we get closer to, you know, him. I don't think we should invade that, to be honest. Not with Herc coming up, because Herc's gonna TP back. We don't know where their mid laner is, excuse me, and yeah, it's just a bad time because I'm way weaker than Herc will be. Yes, they were on right mains. If we invade that blue, it's just you're incurring a lot of risk, kind of unnecessarily. So glad we didn't make that play. Herc's gonna be on his blue. He might rotate over to that if he does. Too bad, and he is. Good luck, guys. Team is owning those so far, so that's good. So we see Herc obviously on this rotation. What we can do here right now is just hold. I don't think he's done his blue yet, but either way, we want him to lose a little bit of farm. We can do this totem here, do this Naga camp, and just kind of, make him, expend some time for doing his camps. Looks like he had already done it, so doesn't really lose much, but was worth a shot anyways. You can already start to see that our poke is definitely improving. We'll ult him here just to do a bit more. And yeah, we want to kind of force him lower. He's much better secure than us on camps, so we're going to have to effectively force him out and then pull a camp, and unless, we can just kill him or something. But I don't want to really 50-50 camps with him when he can just walk up and secure it or throw his boulder, either way. So now that he's like kind of low, I can like start to do this, and again, I'm always ready to just get off of this if he throws an ultimate. So we'll use our 1. He's not really walking up, and now we can do it. And that's really important for these matchups. Anytime you're on a character that has weaker secure than the person you're against, you want to make sure that you're, clearing out the kind of space to make sure you can actually get those camps and not just 50-50ing it because you won't win those. Getting ults off here, we see Lancelot in mid, so we are all safe. He dashes away because he's low, builds get silver and totem here. And just through that, we're really kind of starting to build our actual lead now. So yeah, biggest takeaways kind of from this lane is, I had a poke advantage in the beginning, and I kind of overfought him early when I said my autos are really weak. And if we just don't do that, things go much smoother. So definitely a mishap on my end, but we've recovered from it, so it is all good. I'm not really rushing to clear this totem because he's kind of low. I want to keep this tension. I'm not really making him lose any farm, but I'm making him walk up, which could be just as good. The knock up here, get the ultimate off here. We're going to 3 here, and he should just be dead. Not quite. That's alright. That is okay. He's got a stronger wave than we do right now, so we're just going to hold. He doesn't have TP. We are always in a little bit of threat of getting ganked, I suppose. It is a Baka ADC, mind you, in case you were curious. So we're just going to kind of chill a little bit, though, and back up. As we're doing this, we can pick up the Scepter, and he'll miss this whole wave. And the whole point of this is, again, his wave is stronger, so it'll kill ours, and we'll get all of his wave's XP eventually. But yeah, for the time being, we're just holding. And we can continue to hold. This is kind of a situation where you can hold or push here. I'm going to prefer to push as he is showing up anyways. I'm going to look to push here because I want to... oh, that is unlucky. Because I want to get my blue, but I might not be able to get it anymore. We did still get the wave, which is ultimately the most important thing. Not a big deal. Dying there kind of sucks. But we got everything we needed, so it's not the end of the world. Would have been a little bit better of a play for me to clear that a bit faster. I'm surprised his blue was down so quick. I guess Lance just did it right away. I was kind of expecting him to take some time doing that, but he did not, so it is a-okay. We'll go into his shifters next. Gives us HP 5, health, protections, kind of everything that you want, so should be strong for us. And yeah, a little bit of risk. When you do freeze, you are obviously putting yourself in a bit of a situation to get ganked potentially. We got a lot of value on the other side of the map. Our blue did get killed. So it's not terrible or anything. And again, I think that was a fine play. It just didn't work out as well as we wanted it to. And the biggest adjustment again is I needed to drop that freeze a little bit faster and just clear that wave a bit faster. Because if I do clear that wave 3-4 seconds earlier, sure, he might get 1 or 2 more minions, but then I don't die, and obviously that's worth it. So just a bit greedy by me. All good, though. We don't have a blue buff right now, which is definitely a problem for sustain. Our fight is, very good, though. Not when he has Scepter. I mean, we can still, super sustain on him, though. This is the Glad Shield Wonders, right? I'll pull this again. We mentioned if we don't have a clear-cut thing on doing this, we don't want to do it. But he gave it to us, so that works too. We'll just back up here a little bit. I'm baiting a little bit because my Mulan is coming, so I'll just ult this guy. And yeah, he's just dead here. Again, he has no ult. Super sketchy spot for him to be in. He might not be dead. He ran out all the way. Wow, good for him. Alright, nonetheless, we got the neutral camp we needed, so still a good look for us. Can do this here. And yeah, it's a pretty eventful early, to say the least. The thing that you're kind of finding with builds right now is that if you're not a Glad Shield character, you're going Shifter Shield as a rush. So Hercules isn't really considered one. I'd imagine things like Guan Yu, just any characters that wouldn't really use Glad Shield as efficiently are just rushing shifters. So Hercules, Guan Yu, Horus, those kinds of picks. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I just can't off the top of my head. But then you just go a regrowth or a breastplate after, maybe Nike as well. Typically wasn't really Glad Shield God back in the day. So, any of those characters probably just rushing shifters instead and then going something else after the fact. But good, it's good either way, and I think on the other characters you can just go both. The one thing that you're going to find with this build, and it's a little accentuated right now because I don't have any blue buff, but MP5 becomes a really big issue on a build like this and on a character like this when you're spamming Glad Shield, so it's really important that you would at least get a Heartward or a Genji's or an Oni, something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure which one will go just yet, but as long as you build one, and we see Herc make a rotation, this is a pretty committal rotation. We push this wave here, and he's going to lose a little bit. Really important that if you're going to rotate, you get value out of it, and it looks good, but that was super forced. So yeah, as long as we get some kind of like magical defense item that gives us MP5, or just any item that gives us MP5, but it's generally magical defense, will be very good. So yeah, my choice is probably going to be a Heartward this game, but it could be something else. I'm going to ping out this guy. And I can actually upgrade TP all the way here. I don't get my full shifters, but there's like a big fight going on, so I don't want to like miss it. And hopefully we can get something out of it. We got an assist that we didn't need to be there for. Oh man. See, a thing like this is like, it is in a lot of senses really just totally fine to just TP right and not even worry about this rotation. But the idea is that if we can get something out of this, when their solo laner rotates, it's like gigantic. So I think we'll be able to kill the Herc, and this will end up being very much worth it. He does need to dash in, but yeah, nice job. And me and Thoth are totally fine. So it ends up being worth. Again, we do invest a lot to upgrade a teleport early, and that can definitely come off as not necessarily worth it, but I liked our chances there. Went out pretty well. But again, totally would be fine to just finish shifters there and just TP right. I always say never rotate and make especially committed rotations like that unless you really have a clear-cut, good feel that the fight's going to go well. And even then, you might still be wrong. Having comms and stuff in competitive games, scrimmages, playing with teammates, and just comms in general really makes that a lot easier to kind of tell. But you're going to have to use your judgment even when you have those comms, because sometimes it's just misguided. So, yeah, really important to have a good grasp for how that fight is going and how it's looking, and if you can help. Because if you can't, you're literally never going wrong with just not rotating and just farming. I would have pushed like 2 waves in there, and I would have had full shifters and all that stuff, and I would have been able to upgrade my TP later for a cheaper price. So, you know, you could even argue what I just did there wasn't even that worth it, and that's probably fair. But we did kill the Herc, so he's gonna remain behind and actually fall a little bit more down now. Up about 400 gold, level and a half. What I want to go here is I want to finish the shifters, and then I think I'm going to go... Let's think about it. I actually don't know just yet. I love the idea of going Heartward, so I think I will do that. We could go like a Binding into a Spirit Robe for our last 2. Notice the Herc is rotating yet again, but they have a really big prioritization on this, like as a team. I can TP now, but I wanted to push the wave, get some Bastion poke and all that stuff, and now we can come to the after the fight. I don't really care if they get this actual objective. It doesn't matter that much. It's definitely good too, but again, not the most important thing just yet. We do have our ultimate, so I'm holding that. We have mitigations, mind you, when our energy bar is full, so we are very, very hard to kill. Ult now. Apollo is nowhere near. That's not good. That's too bad. See, I thought we were... Yeah. That's a bit unlucky. I didn't know Apollo wasn't there. It's okay, though. Does end up getting another one. Too bad. We will be going beads, of course, into double cripple. Definitely is the right move. Yeah, that's a shame. Does he get him? No way. Try, that's fine. Too bad, too bad. Almost. Yeah, I'm going to go into a... We'll go into Onis, actually, instead of Heartward. Onis will give us magical prots, mitigations, MP5, all that. And then we could just go Binding Spirit Robe, and we should be fine. One thing to note, they don't actually have a Hunter in their comp. They're doing like a Super Dive Assassin ADC comp, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's definitely annoying, that's for sure. We'll see how it ends up voting later on. I think we'll be destroying them later. Just kind of got crippled there, and it was a little bit too much damage. It's okay though. Gonna kind of limit these rotations a little bit just because they haven't gone too hot as of recent. Again, they really have this hunting comp. Like, I think a lot of our success this game is gonna be the fact that their comp really is supposed to be hunting backliners, but so far they've kind of put pressure on me in these fights, on our Sylvanas and on our Mulan. You know, our backliners have died, but for the most part, 9-3, 7-3 is pretty good. If they continue to focus the frontliners majorly in these fights, it's going to go really bad for them late. And if they go to the backliners, I'll be able to free cast. So either way, I'm feeling pretty optimistic and whatnot. I don't know where Herc exactly went, but I'm not going to worry about it. And I think for this week, guys, normally I don't like spoil what characters I'm going to be playing, but it'll probably just all be Glide Shield picks. I'm not too sure exactly which ones. Obviously, Arthur was like a given. The Scotty video I did yesterday was super fun, so that one was also a little left field maybe, but I had a great time doing it. I'll do some auto attackers as well. Really excited for all that stuff. This should be a super easy fight. Just going to play for his dash. Oh, okay, that works. Nice. Didn't manage to get the lance, but still a super win fight. Our ADC is with us. Oh, too bad. Yeah, we'll get fire here. I mean, these fights have been pretty smooth once we're like together. Sometimes I think people kind of run into issues in games like this with playing a dive character and not really having a clear identity of where to actually go and what to do. People will generally say you need a hunter in a draft, and if you have an assassin, be it a Bakasura, Tsukiyomi set, all pretty common assassin ADCs, that it's just objectively worse, and for the most part it is. But you kind of need to know, especially if you're playing something like a dive soul laner, which would be a King Arthur, which would be a Cuchulainn, what you should actually do. A big part of it is actually just going to be us looking for either the jungler or, you know, the second jungler, the ADC being the Baka, and just keeping them in combat. If we can keep them from blinking in while simultaneously holding our beads and our ultimate, our upgraded ult, we can, for the most part, just win the fight by them not having an entrance in. So that's the biggest thing. There isn't really a great target for us to dive, so to speak. It's just going to be a lot more keeping people in combat. And it's a pretty common strategy for especially these soul laners who have a little bit more range to their kits and pretty good 1v1 with just how slippery they are, to actually just chase the jungler, or at least keep them from blinking in with, you know, take damage from bluestone and whatnot. And it should become pretty easy. That's more so for grouped 5v5s once we're there, rather than these, you know, other fights where we are like, you know, coming into really, oh wow, that was a great thing. Nice job. When we're coming into these like already like kind of somewhat decided engagements one way or another, but that idea. Nice. Because like again, like we're not really having much here, but I mean it's working, so nice job. We'll get a tier 2 here. Remember, we had fire this whole time, so it's never going to go too bad for us. Play for a stun in just a second. Auto 1, and he is just dead. You don't need to go blank on this character either. I think that's like a big misconception. You'll feel fine with beads really every game. A lot of the time, beads won't win you the game, but not having it will lose it. So, not a huge reason to force the item if it feels bad. I just say, hey, they have a lot of cripples, they have a lot of CC. I actually have 3 cripples with the Lance Ult, not just 2. That's totally fine for us to just like build beats for and avoid. I'm gonna ult this guy, and yeah, I mean we're just sort of like fighting, but it's 18 minutes in and this is going pretty well. We have so much sustain on this character. Holy. I mean this game was like going super well and then it was kind of like sliding a bit. I think it was 19-12 and then this happened, so. Oh my gosh, she can't walk. I got my cripple up late. We're gonna use our prod shred here. I'm still full health this whole time. This is ridiculous. Still not even top mitigated somehow. This is like, the thing about Glad Shield is we're the king of taking bad fights, so I kind of want to take it. Oh no, and I got my team killed. I'm sorry. I have 4,400 gold. Yeah, maybe that's a little too bad of a fight. We own though, I promise. We just need to get like a little bit more items built. that was smart. I thought he was gonna go for us. Don't have anything, sadly. Oh, nice job. That was sick. We didn't die? No. This guy did. We're really just gonna run them down, huh? This is such an unreal match. Okay. I've got TP. Ward, my friend. Oh, I gotta buy like 40 items. I shouldn't just TP right away. Alright, we'll go Binding and Onis. We'll TP over and yeah, this is definitely a match. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't have top anything, which is kind of embarrassing. I feel like you should always have top damage on this god. At least earlier. But our Tranquilize is owning. I have to give it to him. And these jungle builds, by the way, that are like more tanky with shifters and stuff, it seems like shifters is really, really overpowered. So I definitely expect to see a ton of them as well. I think we're really in a tank jungle meta with auto attack junglers, but ability-based junglers like Camazotz and stuff, I think probably have taken a bit of a fall. Maybe not Kama specifically, but characters like him, like Susano, have probably taken a big fall. Which I'm fine with, honestly. They've kind of been a little OP. Oh, I'm super dead. Yeah, too bad. These cripples are crazy. No problem, no problem. Yeah, this is like hectic. There's just a lot going on. By the way, I wanted to ask, and let me know how you feel about this. For videos in the future, I'm totally fine with playing like mid or ADC time to time. Not like mainly, of course, but I'm totally fine with doing that. If you do want to see it, let me know. I actually played on stream a mid game recently. I wish I was able to like extract the video because I would just post it. But I played a mid Thoth game in like a pro lobby and did super good. And it was really fun, so I wouldn't mind doing, you know, some mid games or something, or ADC even, time to time. Probably would stay away from jungle, even though I can play the characters, it just would probably be too similar for the most part, in terms of the god selections, but mid or ADC I would totally do, if you guys would be interested. Guys, ult's forced, I'm not going to bother chasing him, and should be able to just kind of like clean out this game. This build feels like pretty good. It's just kind of hard to tell what exactly you want. Yeah, it seems like shifters though is definitely the move, and these other items are pretty much the same as what you'd be building normally. Get mid here pretty easily. Just kind of get some damage off. He did dash on me, which I think is a really big mistake. But he's probably out. That's fine. Oh, we're about to get ganked, aren't we? Not ganked, just ran at. No ganking here. That's why we walk back in. We're here for the fight, you know? Our buddy is A-okay. Well, maybe not. I have to give us content somehow, you know what I mean? That's my excuse. I think I'm trolling our team though, like super hard. We'll knock him up here. This guy's dead at least. Okay, I might be like completely trolling us, but it's for content, so it's fine. We are healing like a ton though. I feel like this has been a pretty lazy Arthur game for me too. In terms of like, I'm not doing actually as much as I probably should be, but to be fair, they do have a lot of cripples. That's a good excuse. He's crippled now, so he's not able to jump, and he's just sort of stuck. Nice. Okay, I guess I'll just back, and we can do fire. We'll wait here a little bit. And I think especially with Glad Shield now back in the game, going Redstone is probably a little bit better on this pick because beforehand you kind of went Brooch to cover up for the fact that you weren't like the sustained beast. on this character for the most part. You could have won Redstone, but you generally went Brutes just to kind of make up for the fact that you couldn't be invincible in a lot of fights. And in a game like this, it's not going to feel the most like apt for how good it actually is. I think there's someone here, yeah. We saw little glimmers of him. So generally speaking, I think going Redstone and just kind of playing into that survivability aspect is going to be way better because you'll be healing so much, and with that all the auto attack speed reduction and extra prots, it should just feel really, really overpowered. Another thing to note though is that obviously we're not going to feel as maybe unkillable in a game like this just because they, they do have Ardio, they do have Baka. This isn't objectively a great game to play Arthur into, but because this is back and it's really fun and obviously is strong, you're going to see not only a lot of Arthur, but a lot of Arthur counter picking. So you're picking the character so early and so much more often. Get on this guy here. I think... Oh man. After an absolute brawl, we do come out on top pretty smoothly. 3-3 and 23. So when we got to team fights, they always felt good. But I say that, I mean, every team fight was good. This was just like a super clean match. It is the MMR reset, by the way, so I'm not in GM right now. But nobody's in GM really. There's like 5 people in there, so kind of expected. But we were against a full Masters, Grandmasters team, so don't worry. Hi, Snatty's YouTube. He made it. He made it. He made it. He made it. I don't know. That game felt a little hectic. I feel like I couldn't get a good grasp for kind of what to talk about, but maybe I'm just overthinking it. I think it's because there's a lot of like ambiguity, excuse me, with what to build and whatnot. So we are at 29-21, which is great. We only had one ward, a little lazy, but that's okay. But if you see over here, like we are, we're almost there. We need one more or 2 more wins, then we are in GM. So there's a couple people, but not many. So yeah, it should be exciting. Thank you guys for watching. I'll take a quick look at those stats again one more time. I apologize. And yeah, we did 3-3-23, 26k player damage, and it was 39k mits. So pretty solid. Good look. Arthur is obviously strong. Didn't get to show off that sustain as much. The Scotty video, I think, actually did a better job of showing how strong Glad Shield can be. But it's really cool to think about how many characters you could see it on potentially being very good. You know, Chalk, Scotty, obviously. Ardio can definitely be crazy with it, I imagine. Osiris is going to be awesome to play test, as well as some other Guardians, perhaps. Maybe Sobek, maybe something, I don't know. So we'll have to see, but as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Peace out.